Assalamu alaikum. I am Shujat Ali from Medicos Lectures by Shujat, and today we are going to discuss with you anatomy and osteology of bones of hands. So first of all, I am going to talk with you about the carpal bones. So we have 8 carpal bones arranging in proximal row and distal row, 4 bones in each. Before proximal and distal rows detail, on the ventral portion of proximal row, we have a strong ligamentous band, which we know as a carpal tunnel, just right here. This carpal tunnel contains median nerves and nerves and vessels of arm, many more nerves and vessels of arm. Now, going in detail of proximal row of carpal bone. So we have a basic mnemonic for the proximal and distal row of carpal bone is: she looks too pretty, try to catch her. Guys, it's basically a mnemonic, not take it serious. She is from scaphoid, looks from lunate, it is from triquetral, and it is from pisiform. In the same way, it is for trapezoid, it is from trapezium, it is from capitate, and last is for hamate. Basic: she looks too pretty, try to catch her. Now, here we have a proximal row, and this very bone is our scaphoid bone. This is our lunate bone from dorsal view, and this is our triquetral bone, and on that we have a pisiform bone. From dorsal view, scaphoid, lunate, pisiform, and triquetral. Going in detail, scaphoid, it's from Greek scaphe, which means a boat or a trough. Because its shape is just resembling with bone, you can easily visualize it, a boat shaped. Lunate is because of its shape is just like semilunar moon, a half moon. And this one is triangular, we know it as triquetral, triangle. And this pisiform is from P because its shape is just resemble to that of P. Now, talking about the distal row of carpal bone, a mnemonic is try to catch her. So tri is from trapezium, two is from trapezoid, and capitate and hamate bone. Goes in detail from palmar surface. Here we have hamate, capitate, trapezium, trapezoid. Trapezium, it is quadrangular and possesses a groove on it. You can easily see that groove right here. And trapezoid is its shape is just resemble with shoe of baby, a little shoe. So its shape is just resembles to that. And capitate is central and the largest bone, possessing a rounded head. Hamate, as its name shows, hamate, just from the hammer. So it's a wedge-shaped bone possessing a wedge, and shape is just resembles to that of wedge. Now talking about the ossifications, that which bone is ossified first and which last. So at first, capitate is the bone that is going to be ossified first, and pisiform, which is a P-shaped bone, it is going to be ossified at the end, at last. It is the last bone to ossified. Talking about the attachments with the bone, with like attachment of muscles. So with the tubercles of scaphoid, we have attachment of flexor retinaculum. In the same way with pisiform, we have an attachment of flexor extensor retinaculum and as well as flexor digiti minimi. Talking about the hamate bone, so we have flexor digiti minimi and opponents digiti minimi as a point for the attachment with that particular hamate bone. In proximal rows, a fracture is most common, a fracture of scaphoid. When we fall on outstretched hand, this very scaphoid has major chance of fracturing, of abducting from its position. And its fracture will pull pressure on carpal bone, and our nerves also have the chance for abducting, for dislocation. Now, talking about the metacarpal bones, they are arranged from 1 to 5 from our thumb to our pinky finger. Each metacarpal bone is possessing base, body and head. Location is between carpal bones and our phalanges. They are our metacarpal bones. Talking about the base, base is basically at the proximal portion of metacarpal. This is base. And the elongated and extended portion that is right here is our body or shaft. And this rounded portion is our head, which is going to articulate with proximal phalanx and forming a knuckle of the hand. Now, talking about the peculiarity of our first metacarpal, of where it is our bone. As from its shape, it is shortest and stout. And its base, which is concavo-convex, it forms a saddle type of articulation. A saddle is basically a horse rider, and its seat is showing us a saddle shape, just a groove-like shape. Talking about the fractures that we have in our phalange, in our metacarpals, we have Bennett's fracture in metacarpal and we have Boxer's fracture in metacarpal. So Bennett's fracture, it is basically a fracture near the base of our first metacarpal. Fracture due to the subluxation or due to the dislocation of that first metacarpal. Boxer's fracture is the fracture near the neck of fifth metacarpal bone. We have two centers for ossification. One is primary center and the other one is secondary section. Primary section for ossification is for ossification of shaft of metacarpals, and secondary section is for ossification of base of metacarpals. Now talking about the phalanges of hand. So we have 14 phalanges from thumb to pinky finger, 3 for each finger and 2 for the thumb. And the word phalanges come from the phalanx, which means line of battle, and it is single for the phalange. Now, each phalanx or phalanges possesses body, base and head. Talking about the base, base just similar to the metacarpal is proximal but in concave shape. Body, it tapers toward the head. Tapers or rotating towards the head, and the head is also proximal but a pulley shaped. Now I am going to draw the bones, the metacarpals and the phalanges on my own hand, so if you are in home you can easily understand it. Starting from the pinky finger, here is first phalange, second phalange, third phalanges. In the same way, 3 phalanges for the each finger. I'm sorry if drawing is not as much good, but it is just for the understanding. 3 phalanges and 2 for the thumb. Now, 1 metacarpal bone. Now drawing the bones of hand, starting from the distal portion, which symbol is she looks too pretty, try to catch her. We starting from trapezium, then trapezoid, then capitate and then hamate. In the middle of that we have scaphoid, we have lunate in between them. Scaphoid is right here and triquetral, and on triquetral we have a pisiform bone, and these are here we have a tunnel shape which we know as carpal tunnel, which contains several different ligaments. Now, talking about the clinical correlates, that how undisplaced fracture of the phalanges are going to be injured. So I have bandage and tape right now, and I am going to tell you. A doctor put some bandage at this position and then tape around the two fingers together, and that tape will help to rectify the undisplaced fracture that if we have in our phalanges. And it is our basic lecture on bones of hand. Hope you all will understand it well. Don't forget to subscribe to Medicro's lectures by Shujat. Thank you so much.